I love Halloween. And even though I'm in a long-term relationship, I'm super excited about the upcoming Halloween week. Why? Because Halloween is by far the best time of the entire year for casual sex. And I have a whole ton of clients in Sydney who are about to have the best week of their lives. Now, since a lot of guys that I tell this to are really surprised that Halloween is such a great time of the year, I'm going to go a little bit into the psychology and mindset that women have around Halloween and why it's so great for casual sex, as well as how you yourselves can capitalize on the upcoming Halloween week. Keep watching to find out more. So years ago when I was single and Halloween was coming around, right, it was kind of this time of the year, about the week before it all began, I would be out and about in the stores looking for Halloween outfits to either rent or buy. Notice I say Halloween outfits because I was really excited about Halloween upcoming. Why? What is so special about Halloween? Well, let's have a little bit of a look into the psychology of people and what's at play here. You see, humans, all of us, men and women, whenever we're in public, we wear metaphorical masks. So if you're at work, what you tend to do is you have your workplace mask, your workplace persona is what you're wearing. And so you're acting professional and adult and all grown up, and you're not very emotional and you're very analytical. That's your workplace persona, your workplace mask. When you're visiting your parents, what are you doing? You're wearing your parents' mask. So you tend to behave more like you did when you were a child. You fall into parent-child relationships really easily, like social interactions very easily. You probably avoid certain aspects of who you are, maybe political viewpoints or sexual viewpoints or whatever it is. You inhibit those from your parents so they don't have to witness that part of who you are. And then when you're out with friends or out in public, you've got different masks you wear too. So if you're at home with a couple of really close friends or at a cafe with a couple of really close friends, you're wearing one mask. And if you're out in public at a bar or club with friends, you're wearing another. You probably notice that if you're at a bar or club with friends, you tend to be more cocky and pretending to be confident and more boisterous. You adopt that persona when you're out with them. You see, there are all these different masks that we wear. And no matter what mask you're wearing and no matter what context, the mask is going to be inhibitive. It's going to be there to inhibit certain parts of your personality. So for women, very often their mask will, for example, be inhibiting their sexual behaviors, their sexual desires, their sexual, right? Because they're worried about what are people going to think of me? What am I going to think of me? Even the guy they're hitting on, what's he going to think, right? A lot of women think, oh, I really like him. He's a bit all right. But, oh, I can't do too much. Otherwise, he'll think I'm a slut. Right? That's a very frequent thought that women have. It's part of their mask. As a guy, it's probably a lot around vulnerability, right? So, oh, I've got to pretend to be confident around this girl, like, or oh, I've got to act cocky, or I can't be vulnerable, I can't be weak, right? You know, we've got these masks that we wear that inhibit. They're constantly inhibiting us. But something truly magical happens when we dress up, when we put on a real mask. Well, okay, not always a real mask, because you're not always actually masked at Halloween, but when you're donning an outfit, because it's a whole body mask, right, that represents a chance for you to be something that you're not, our metaphorical masks, our social masks begin to melt away. It's a really interesting thing. It's a fascinating thing that the second we dress up or wear a mask, right, we become more who we really are or who we really want to be than at any other time. It's like we have poetic license to suddenly behave in a different way, in the way that we really want to deep down inside. So for example, Sarah the lawyer might feel all prim and proper coming to after work drinks on a Friday evening. She's wearing her business attire after all, and she's just taken off her business mask and she's there in a bar and she's quite inhibited, right? But the second you get Sarah dressing up as a slightly provocative Snow White at a Halloween party, all of a sudden her childish part of herself comes up. It feels a little bit naughty, a little bit playful, sexually uninhibited. It's a totally different version of that theoretical woman, Sarah the lawyer. And the same thing happens to guys. Guys don't realize too, the second they dress up as something they're not, all of a sudden they feel more comfortable doing things they'd never normally do, like walking up and talking to lots of women, like being hyper social at a party, right? It suddenly feels more normal to do these things because you don't feel inhibited by your sense of who you are, by your sense of this is what Damien is. All of a sudden that starts to break down. It's a really magical experience. So how can you capitalize on this? Well, Fortunately, I have been out to many Halloween events and I've done lots of playing around and practicing, and I found what really works for me. So first of all, right now, you should be starting to look. Most Western cities around the world have Halloween events every night of the week on the Halloween week, the week of Halloween. So you got to start looking at Halloween events in your city, whatever city it is. I know Sydney has a Halloween event for sure every night of the week, but many cities do, bigger cities especially. Look it up and start locking in which events you want to go to. Some of them you'll need to buy tickets in advance, or it would be much cheaper if you buy tickets in advance. Some Halloween events in the city get really busy really quickly, so you don't want to miss out on that, all dressed up with nowhere to go. So yeah, buy tickets in advance. The second thing, of course, is you're going to have to go out and grab yourself some outfits. Now notice I say outfits and not outfit. This is a mistake I made my first Halloween. I wanted to go to a whole bunch of events, but here's the issue. You tend to get hot and sweaty at Halloween events because you're dressed up usually wearing more clothing, not less clothing, especially if you live in a hot climate. But otherwise, if you're in an indoor space, it can get very warm with lots of people. You don't want to be all smelly the next day when you're wearing the same outfit you wore the night before because you're going to multiple Halloween events. So if you're going to go to multiple events, get multiple outfits so you don't have a problem with sticking out the joint. As far as what outfits you choose, I'll tell you what has been by far the most successful kind of outfit. Life-saving outfits. So what do I mean? Usually it's a uniform, right? So dressing up as a policeman, dressing up as a fireman, dressing up as a pilot, dressing up as Superman, right? So these kind of life-saving uniform-based outfits, women just go nuts. And I know this isn't a really Halloween thing, right? This isn't spooky or evil or dark or whatever, but boy, it's powerful. It's funny. Like I get approached a lot suddenly when I'm dressed up in a cop outfit or a pilot's uniform or something, or a fireman uniform, because women have all these latent, attractions to men in uniform, right? Not all women, but a lot of them do, and there's just something sexy about it, and they can indulge that sexual desire in that night. It just hits those good nerves. So yeah, I mean that's what I go for, and I've gone for that every year, and I've just been it's so much fun I can't begin to tell you. So yes, make sure you focus on those kind of outfits. They'll be the most powerful. The next thing is, talk your friends into going with you. It's good if you can have a friend or two with you. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard, right? Just tell them, hey, watch this video by Damien. He talks about how Halloween's the best night of the year for getting casual sex. Get your friends out with you, and when you're out at the venue, you want to be really social, and you're going to find it's much easier at Halloween than any other time of the year to be really social. So what I do with friends is I'll literally go into a bar or club, whatever that's hosting the event, and I will walk slowly with my friend, and we will just talk to people that we pass by. I'll be dressed as a cop. I'll meet another guy or a girl dressed as a cop. We're like, hey, it's my police buddy, right? And all this, like, we'll just start conversations. It's going to be so easy to do. And women are going to talk to you much more readily as well. As long as you're being social and happy and outgoing. It's really interesting. Other times of the year, if you were just to walk through a bar being social with random people left, right, and center, some people would look at you like you're being strange. But in Halloween, it's acceptable. It's fun. Everyone wants to be nice to each other. It's like Halloween is the one time of the year that just draws everyone together and makes everyone in a good celebratory mood and makes everyone want to be social with other people. And that's so powerful for meeting women, because you can meet so many women just by doing a round of the bar. And it doesn't mean you're staying and talking to any one woman for a long period of the time in the beginning. You're just being social and getting to meet everyone. And once you've said hello to a bunch of people, you can then go back and re-engage with them down the line. And it's not weird. It's not awkward anymore, right? Once you've been Mr. Social, walking around with your mate, just talking to people, having fun, getting a few drinks. Often at Halloween parties, there are little games and events that you can participate in. Get involved in them. I've had it before at events where it was some game that had to do with a girl, and it was like a truth or dare at the end, and the dare was we had to kiss each other. It's like, well, thank you, Halloween game. I mean, it's truth or dare. Now we have to kiss, right? I've had things like this happen at Halloween events. It's really, really fun. Now, of course, you're going to have the social skills to back this up to some degree, right? It doesn't matter what skill level you're at right now. Halloween's going to be the best time of the year for pushing that edge, for really pushing the boundary. But if you're not comfortable, if you're really shy and really nervous, Halloween's still going to be difficult. But it is the best time, it's the easiest time to practice pushing that boundary, because people are going to be by far the most friendly. So start brushing up on those social skills. Start learning. Now, obviously, one of the skills you're going to need the most is going to be how to sexually escalate. Now, there's a very important casual sex mindset that I want to talk to you guys about, that I've talked about in a video that I'm going to link to up here, where I talk with my current long-term partner, Dee, about some of the really important mindsets that men need to have about casual sex, and the way that women think about sex and casual sex is really important to understand before you start entering into these highly sexualized environments and want to capitalize and get the best results possible. Highly recommend you watch that. I'll throw that up here on my end screen so you can watch it now. As always, let me know what you think. Do you think that Valentine's is a better time of the year? I think it's second. It's kind of distant second if you ask me, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. As always, if you've liked my video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. I'm Damien. Have a fantastic Halloween. I hope you're as excited as I am after watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in the future.